Super Sentences is a fantastic writing activity that helps children to hone their writing skills. We concentrate on changing a sentence in 7 different ways to help children practice their flexibility in writing sentences. Okay everybody, today we're going to be learning about improving our writing. So on the board I've got a very, very boring sentence. Michael ran down to the river. It's okay, it tells us what's happening, but it's not very exciting. The principle of the activity is that there are 7 different ways that you can change a sentence. Alright, so the 7 different ways are adding in words, which some of you have suggested already, dropping in chunks of information, adding on at the beginning, adding on at the end of the sentence, changing words, adding a simile, and also alliteration. Now, in my magic bag, I have been working very hard at home. You will be so impressed. And I've improved this sentence in those 7 different ways, but they're all muddled up. I invite the children to come up one at a time and choose out the sentence that's been changed in one of those ways. This is really exciting and draws the children in.
Michael ran like lightning down to the river.
Which of the ways have I used here?
The adding words.
There are words added in, you're right, but there are special kinds of words. Listen, ran like lightning.
Adding a simile.
Well done, Ashley, it is adding in a simile.
Michael, with tears in his eyes, ran down to the river edge.
Hey, how has that sentence been changed and improved? Kira.
Is it dropping in chunks?
Well done, Kira, you're absolutely right, it's dropping in chunks. Once the children have decided which of the 7 ways I've used, we'll pin it up on the board next to the explicit description of that strategy. This helps them to know how to change a sentence when they get to do it themselves. All right, so our brand new sentence, you're going to like this one, I can tell, is the whale swam towards the sea. So when you get back to your tables with your partner, I want you to have a go together at changing this sentence in the 7 different ways, okay? Be very careful. I just want you to be strict with yourselves and try using the different ways on their own, okay? How many different ways are there to change it?
7! First we add a simile. Yeah. So, the whale swam towards the sea as fast as a cheetah. As fast as a cheetah.
For adding at the beginning, we could say, the blue, smooth whale swam towards the sea.
The essence of good writing is knowing which sentence to select for which purpose, and giving the children these kind of parameters to work within, such as just add on at the beginning, just drop in a chunk of information. This really stimulates their creativity. So now we're going to use any of the ways that we like, and you can use a combination of the different ways as well, to write your best version of the whale swam towards the sea. In other words, your super sentence.
Like we could have that one and them 2.
Yeah.
We could have alliteration with add-on at the end, so we could have the sad small whale swam towards the sea whilst the lifeboats were following him.
The whale swam swiftly towards the sea, as fast as a speedy cheetah with roller skates. The whale swam.
The reason that super sentences is such a powerful activity is that it helps children to practice changing sentences in the 7 different ways. And once they've practiced, they start to build it into their repertoire of things that they can do when they're writing independently. So in the end, they're becoming much more confident, more flexible writers. Listen to this. The sad small whale swam towards the sea while the lifeboat was following him.
By using some of the 7 ways, it makes your writing better, and especially alliteration. I love alliteration.
Wordscape is a multi-sensory approach that helps to stimulate creative thinking for writing. So this is the story of Tobias and the angel. Tobit was a farmer. He lived with his wife Anna and their son Tobias. Before the Wordscape activity, we use a story so the children understand the context in which they're going to be writing their description of a setting. So Tobias set off to the marketplace to try and find someone to help him. Today's lesson is all about Tobias at the marketplace. In a moment, you're going to take the picture out of your envelope, and in your AB partners, B is going to tell A what they can see in the picture. The reason why I get them to think about a modern shopping centre is because they have first-hand experience, so they have a starting point from which to talk about.
Lift there, there's an escalator there. I can see millions of people and a shop called Water Stores.
In the I Can See activity, I start with the nouns and the children write the nouns down on the piece of paper. These are really important because they provide the vocabulary for the Wordscape later. Right, we're going to move on to what I can hear. So see if you can write down 2 things that you would be able to hear in that shopping centre or marketplace. 2 things that you can hear.
In the market I can hear some babies crying.
Fantastic, so babies crying. Okay, if you've done 1 or 2 for what you can hear, see if you can move on to the next one. I can smell. I can smell. Once the children have generated the vocabulary based on a modern setting of a shopping centre, I'd show them some pictures of a Middle Eastern market. So we're going to look at what some of the differences are. Then we'd start to eliminate some of the modern features and vocabulary that they might have come up with. Escalators. Do you think Tobias would have seen escalators in his marketplace? No. Okay, so if you wrote something like that, like escalators, we might want to take that out for the next activity. So take out anything that sounds modern. Take out anything that sounds modern. When we're ready to start the Wordscape activity, it's important to move the furniture out of the way so that you've got a large open space for children to place their vocabulary on. On the floor, we've got a carpet of words. So Mrs. Sharma's going to be my partner. We're going to demonstrate to you how Wordscape works. I'm going to use the words that you have put on your sheets of paper to describe this marketplace to her. We're going into the market now. It's a really warm, hot day. The path's really sandy. It's got lots of rocks scattered around on it. You have to be careful to avoid them so that you don't trip up. There's a chicken. It's trying to avoid the horse's hoofs. It's running in between its legs. Now you're going to have a go at this activity, and you're going to have a go a few at a time.
I smell some dirty animals with oily fur. I see sand and hard rocks just with a different type of basket. Then I see some fresh rows of olives.
When the children walk around the marketplace, they're almost transporting themselves to that marketplace and are experiencing what it's like to walk through it.
Looking around and they're not happy.
The child that's got their eyes closed is listening to the description that their partner's giving them of the marketplace, and those images, once they stay in their minds, become ideas for them to use in their writing later.
I find that having a really multi-sensory spelling lesson that appeals to the various types of learner really has an impact on the children's ability to spell, but also their enjoyment of writing as a whole. I've got a word in my head. So we're going to play a game. You're going to guess the letters which you think might go in there.
I.
Okay, you're right actually. I is in there. Well done. T. Yeah, you're right, actually. Very good at that today. Yeah, Mumby.
G.
G isn't in there. And we're going to start drawing our smiley face. So we've got the face. Navraj. A, yeah. So you've got a good part of the word now. Prem.
P.
And what word is it, Prem?
Parties.
Parties, well done. So today's lesson is all about making plurals of words ending in a consonant, then Y. On the board, I've got 3 words. One of them is the odd one out because it's actually spelt correctly. With your partner, I want you to decide which word is the odd one out and write it down on your whiteboards and then show me. And show me. Let's find out which is the right one. When I use odd one out with the children, I try to draw out the rule that we are working on that week.
We have to take the Y away and then add the IES.
And show me your boards. I'm really impressed with some of those rules you've come up with.
Take away the Y and then add the IES.
We're going to play a game now, and it's called Quiz, Quiz, Swap. What you're going to do is you're going to stand up with your word, and you're going to walk around the room and find a partner. So you say your word, and they spell it, okay? Then your partner will say their word, and you spell their word. If you both get the words correct, you spell them correctly, you can swap cards. Off you go.
My word is ladies. LADIES. What's your word? Pennies. PENNIES.
The children really like this activity because they can move around the room and they can talk to each other, and they like the competitive element in trying to swap as many times as possible.
Baby. BABY. Thank you.
Once we've played the game, a really good way to consolidate is for the children to put the target words into a word search. This provides them with an opportunity to practice writing out the key words and apply the rule.
PARTIES.
I think often spelling can be quite a boring lesson for children. By providing the children with a range of different activities and different games, it really engages all their senses and makes it fun for them, and they actually really enjoy coming to spelling lessons.
Just did hoppies like this.